What we need to do is we need to stop stopping. If you ain't got a swipe, start hopping. What we need to do is we got to leap over every cop car that responds and arrives promptly to knock us when we're doing something honest. What is positivity? What we need to do is we need to start going in instead of going out. Showing out will have a different meaning. What we need to do is we need to start going in ourselves, our minds, our hearts, our souls. What we need to do is we need to be the answer instead of asking questions. Exercise our minds by second guessing and stop stretching out our hands expecting what we need to do to be done by others. That's not working together. Positivity is pointing out every particular pleasure that is present when life is pouring down its painful of rainy weather. Positivity is the umbrella. What we need to do is we need to unite. What we need to do is we need to love. What we need to do is we need to fight for the right to love is pushed aside to the holidays. You dig what I'm trying to say? What we need to do is we need to love every day. Before we go to sleep, we need to pray every night. What we need to do is we need to tread lightly. What we need to do is we need to learn how to stop fighting over a world that we would never own. What we need to do is we need to stop acting like we love to be alone. What we need to do is something we can't learn in class. I'm trying to say we need to dig up our past and rekindle flames from the ash. What we need to do is what we gonna do. We gonna do what we need to do. You feel me then? We gonna do what we need to do. You feel me? We gonna do what we need to do. That right there is my poem called Gentrifihatian. That's the intro to my second project called The Moor They Want. You feel me then? I started the project off with a little poem just to let you know how I feel. If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. I'm Quindell Evans, BluePoetTree.com, and this is the BluePoetTree podcast. On the BluePoetTree podcast, we speak about the habits that it takes to create a successful life. And we also speak about the habits that it takes to overcome and break through a stressful life. You feel me then? Let's go. On this version of the podcast, which is called Ears, because you got to listen, EARS spells ears, explanation and reasoning for my songs. You feel me them? I like to do the acronyms. So each letter stands for a word. Explanation and reasoning for my songs. EARS. This is the ears version of the podcast, so I explain the reason why I wrote the song. I explain the lyrics, you feel me? Break it down for you so you know what I mean by each line or by the overall song, you feel me? So I'm going to break down this poem, Gentrifihatian, right here on this podcast right now. You feel me then? Before I get there, I just want to say the pledge, because we speak about the habits that it takes to create a successful life. And sometimes the habit isn't always something you do actively, externally. Something you do externally. Sometimes it's not like reading every day. That's one of the habits I like to do to create a successful life. Exercising every day. That's one of the habits I like to do to create a successful life. Meditating every day. That's one of the habits I like to do to create a successful life. Sometimes it ain't those type of activities. Sometimes it's mental activities. And one of the mental activities is pretty much focusing on positivity, focusing on optimism, seeing the positive things, always thinking positive. Not always, but as much as you can. You ain't nobody in the world. I don't care who you are. It's 100% positive and always thinking positive. Every one of us have negativity, negative energy, and negative thoughts. You feel me? But if you are mentally exercising your mind, you're able to be aware of when these negative thoughts are like, consuming you. You feel me? There's a phrase out there called killing ants. And that's something I want to affirm. Something I want to start doing more is killing ants. Ant is another acronym. Stands for automatic negative thoughts. ANT. Automatic negative thoughts. Ants. We need to kill automatic negative thoughts because they come. Sometimes we got to just stomp them joints out. And the reason it's so hard to kill automatic negative thoughts is because ants are small. Ants are very small. You might step on an ant and that joint will look like it and then it, look like it done died, and then it just get back and just, you feel me? It just reform and just walk off, you feel me? You got to step on it a few times. So that's what we have to do with our automatic negative thoughts. We got to learn how to step on them a few times until we get it, you feel me? And that's what it's about. So I want to recite this affirmation pledge so I can get into the habit of killing those ants inside my mind. You feel me? This is a mental activity. And the affirmation pledge goes like this. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy, and free. I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters grow. I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my misery, cause I'll be strong and turn it around. I want to go up, I'm not going down. I want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come true. Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art, even when it was sad. I want to share whatever my gift, and when you're feeling low, I give you a lift. I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being here. Just know that you're blessed for being here. You know that we're blessed for being here. Just know that we're blessed. All right, then. So that's the affirmation pledge by Abiodun Oyewole. It's not entitled the affirmation pledge. I think it's just called the pledge, but I like to call it the affirmation pledge because each line is an affirmation. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy, and free. That's an affirmation. You're affirming what you want to be, and you're affirming that you want to be happy, healthy, and free. You feel me? So that's why I call it the affirmation pledge. You feel me? Abiodun might not call it that. Abiodun is creator and founder of The Last Poets. You feel me? One of the most popular poetry groups ever. You feel me? One of the most impactful poetry groups ever. Yeah, so that's the affirmation pledge. Now, let's get on to airs, explaining and reasoning for the songs. You feel me? Let me break down this song called Gentrifihatian. And the reason I call it Gentrifihatian is because, you know, there's a term out there called gentrification. You know, so I took it and was like gentrifihating, like, you know, gentrifihating, like they gentrifying and hating. I'm not one to talk all of that politics stuff. I don't even understand it, you know, to the point where I feel like my opinion really should matter. So that's why I don't get into all of that, like, politics stuff. I try to dabble in and all that, but there's so much false and fake information out there. I don't know what to believe, so I'm not with it. You could, you know, it's not like I'm not going to act like, you know, I'm not going to act like everything is false and fake, but there's so much fake news that I don't know what to believe and what to take, you know, for face value. So I'm just not with even talking like that. So gentrification is not one of those ideologies, one of those ideals that I feel like is, you know, is like plaguing the community. I don't know, you feel me? I feel like that's a word, and I don't know when people even started talking like that. Like, that's not like, I don't even know. But I just wanted to play on that because, you know, it's a word that people was using, so I wanted to play on that. Gentrification. But I call it Gentrifihating. So the song is called Gentrifihatian. And the intro to the song, it starts with like a dude who I saw and I recorded him. He was just on the rage in the street, just blacking. And he was drunk. And he was just blacking, just pretty much expressing himself in a very like spoken word manner. Like he was kind of like reciting a poem to me, and I felt like it was a very beautiful moment. And he was alone, but he was just like screaming, like, you know, just screaming, like reciting a poem in the middle of Harlem on the street. And I recorded him, and then I used that recording on the track. You know, and I think I spoke to him and stuff like that and was like, you know, got the consent. But I don't even know, it was years ago. But anyway, that's why I titled it Gentrifihatian, because I feel like gentrification is one of those things that people was just talking about, like people coming to take over the community and buy it out and all that. But I felt like, I'll tell you my personal views on gentrification. I feel like if gentrification is something Robert Moses did. I'm reading this book called The Power Broker, and Robert Moses would literally take you out of your home so he could build on it. A home that you own, you feel me? I don't own the projects, and nobody in the projects own the projects. Most of the places that we're complaining about that's being gentrified, we don't own, you feel me? So it's not even like, you know, a owned community for you to be acting like somebody is coming over and buying you out if you don't even own it. I do feel like it is a systematic way that they're building things, and they might be trying to move you out of it, the community you live in, but you don't own it in the first place. So, You feel me?